Welcome back to another CREWCast short, and we are here today with I was going to say Zach.
Great
Zenful Zach.
Zenful Zach. No, we're with Sam from ZenfulMen.com or Zenful_men on Instagram. If you have listened to the previous podcast, Sam has introduced himself for everything that he does, but again, he's going to do it now briefly. Let the people know if they haven't heard.
Zenful Men, streetwear that cares, is a streetwear brand that we donate a percentage of the profits to mental health charities. So we've raised £13,000 for charity in 15 months of trading. We've donated 25 hoodies to the homeless and sponsored 3 individuals with therapy. And we use the platform to promote different health and mindfulness techniques, which allowed me to get a grip of my depression and get off antidepressants.
Yeah, and if you check out the previous podcast, Sam does go through where he was at and how he got through some quite difficult times, including toxic relationships, self-doubt, anxiety, and a whole host of nice little tricks and tips that helped him break through the bad cycles and start new ones. And that is what we're going to talk about today. Yeah. So, as always with the shorts, we're going to try and keep it brief but direct.
Yeah,
we'll
do our best.
I'm going to keep these two in check.
I'm
going to keep these two in check on this one. I'm going to start it out, okay? So we talked in the previous podcast about, obviously, what helped you get through days. So you're big into your breath work, meditations and stuff like that. Lou and I have both confessed we haven't done meditation enough recently. Again, we've fallen off for whatever reason. So we need to kick up the ass to get back in. So... let's start with your breath work and how you structure it into your day to help you, have a good day every day and clear your mind and whatnot.
Yeah. So breath work, as soon as I wake up, I go brush my teeth and then I get back into bed. And what I do is 3 rounds of breath work. And what this does is it releases oxidative stress from the body. It reduces the inflammatory markers of the blood and it redirects the blood flow to the locus coeruleus region of the brain. Now, you'll feel an instant release of anxiety, stress, and what that is the endocannabinoids being activated in your mind. So the breath work is really, really powerful. You shouldn't do it with food in your stomach, and you should always do it in a safe place. Also, if you're into cold water therapy, it's going to prime your body for the cold. So it's going to allow your body to release more norepinephrine, which is the body's natural way of warming itself up.
Yeah, so I know that the breathwork is a massive one for water work once you're going in ice baths and stuff like that, because one of the biggest limitations most people find is the ability to breathe when they hit that cold, because the diaphragm contracts and then they lose control of it.
Yeah, and then you start panicking, start freaking out, and then
control the breath,
gets shallower. Yeah,
control the breath is the biggest thing for getting that cold.
Calm the parasympathetic nervous system down.
This is obviously, we know this is a great way to start your day because it sets you in my opinion, it brings the body to life. You're saturating the body with oxygen early in the morning, waking up the brain, getting that blood flow around the body, but also starting the day with an uncluttered mind. And this is one of the biggest things, so we don't wake up and start getting these cycles of perpetual anxiousness or, oh God, there's so much to do today. So it sets you off on a nice calm mood. Yeah. So you're waking up, you wake up, you go brush your teeth. Now, you're going to go back into bed, not into bed, on the duvet, lying on top. So you're out of the bed effectively. You're not back into sleep mode.
Yeah, not in sleep mode. Yeah, you can have a blanket on top of you. And what you're going to do is find a real centered, calm, relaxed state of mind. You're going to do 30 to 50. You can do anywhere from 30 or even up to 60 if you want. Deep inhalation breaths using your belly, then your lungs, and then even your head. And what you do now is maximizing oxygen consumption, removing CO2 from the body, because you'll always breathe out more than you breathe in.
So, because most people don't know, most people, when they're not wearing a breath, they're usually, it's called top breathers. So you're only using the upper part of our lungs, which means that the air that's in the lower part of the lung isn't actively being cleared in an efficient way. It will do over time, but with the breathing work, what we do is expand and contract the lungs to their maximum potential. And you'll actually improve your your CO2 saturation point over time with the breath work. So it can actually make you fitter and a better athlete.
More ATP in the muscles as well, more energy. Yeah,
there's so many benefits to it. But you pointed out there, you're going to breathe from your stomach first, then chest,
and children
head.
do this naturally.
Just break that down. Yeah. So how do people learn to breathe properly?
When you're lay down doing the breath work, obviously it's a separate exercise, but you should also breathe like this in day to day. So when you watch children breathe naturally, relaxed, they always lead with the stomach. So as Lex mentioned, when we're shallow breathing, we're only using the top part of our lungs, whereas you should be breathing like, you know.
A big breath from the stomach. So
Yeah,
I think
lead
the
from
best
the
way of
stomach.
describing it is if you breathe in, allowing your stomach to expand out, you'll feel the air being pulled in as your stomach expands outward.
Yes.
You then keep breathing in, allowing the chest to elevate. So now you've filled all of your torso with air.
Yeah, your diaphragm's actually dropping down,
Yeah.
which is why the stomach's coming out.
Yeah.
It's not
So
just your rib cage.
Yeah, so you're allowing that lung to fully expand, pull that oxygen in. But then you said head.
Yeah, so when you're doing specifically the Wim Hof breath work, we want to maximize every bit of oxygen that we can take.
Yeah.
So we even go, and we can even get more into the
So
head.
just
You're
feel
using
like
the
once your lungs
whole
are full-
vessel as a body. To breathe, you're using the whole body as a vessel to get as much oxygen in and out as
So
we can.
is it meant to just try and fill your head with oxygen as well once your lungs feel full? It's just
Yeah,
another thing to be able to...
essentially.
Yeah, well, essentially what we're doing is actually getting that upper part of the
I
final
suppose
part of the
your,
lung.
your shoulders are raising, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's a way of your rib cage expanding even further. But I guess it'll feel very like neck, like
Yeah.
upper body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so are you holding for then a certain amount of time? Holding
Yeah,
that breath in?
so after the final breath...
Is
you'll
there a
let
time
it
of pulling the air
all
in
out.
before?
Sorry?
Are we doing like a pull in, 5 seconds in, hold for 5, out for 5, like the box breathing? Or is it just a general pull until you feel full, hold?
Until you feel full, let not all of it out. You're aiming to let about 70 to 80% of the air out. And you want to keep it a rhythm. So imagine your breath as a wave. You're breathing in and out.
Fully in, letting go.
Letting go. Legend,
So there
right?
isn't really a hold point where we're staying static.
No.
This is just in and out. Okay,
In and let
okay.
it go. So
And
fluid.
so you said 30 to 60 reps of
Yeah,
doing this?
yeah. Start with 30.
And
Definitely
then
start
I think the aim is to slowly get deeper and deeper as you go and slower and
the
slower.
more you flow with the breath, the more tingling will occur in your hands and your feet.
So I think one of the big important things is to allow your body to relax as well. Because what we'll say is people will say, if I tell you go lie down on the floor, you'll lie on the floor. But we have a natural tension within our bodies. Even if we're lying on the floor, that we're holding a tension in our muscles. Then you say, no, relax into the floor. And you'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
And you'll realize, oh shit, no, I wasn't relaxing at all. So it's let yourself sink into the bed, sink into the floor you're lying on, sink into that mat that you're lying on. And really just try and let that body weight go and concentrate just purely on the breathing. 30, 60 reps of this in the morning.
Yeah.
And
And
then-
then on the final breath, you let it all out. You can hold your breath for a crazy amount of time, as you
Yes.
probably already know.
Yes, it's
so
mad.
that's called intermittent acute hypoxia. So when you're lay down holding your breath, that's where deep healing is taking place in the body as well. And then when you need to breathe, don't try outdo yourself and hold it for too long. When you need to breathe all the way in, and then you're going to squeeze at the top of your breath. You're going to hold the breath and squeeze the abdominal muscles. And this is also moving the cerebral fluid up to your pineal gland, which can activate your pineal gland. Yeah. So the Wim Hof breathwork for me was a life change. I was always really anxious, really stressed, and this would lead me to covering my emotions with alcohol that we've already discussed. Whereas this breathwork, when I release the stress and the anxiety from the body, clear the mind, you can focus on what matters.
It's starting your way on a day as well in control. You're starting your day in a controlled way that you're creating the energy for the day. So I think that's a really good point. Nice. Lou.
You go next. I haven't got one.
You haven't got one?
I'm making it up as we go along.
So mine is, I do the breathing thing's great. Mine is once you've done the breathing, one thing I've learned this week, and I think it's an important thing, is caffeine. Control your caffeine consumption. We don't want to have caffeine within the first 90 minutes of waking up. There's 2 things I'm going to give you to do when you wake up. So one is avoid having that caffeine when you wake up. The reason is when we want to go to sleep, we have adenosine, which crosses the blood-brain barrier. This is what binds to our receptors and makes us feel sleepy. It's what knocks us out, puts us to sleep. When we wake up, adenosine is still flowing around our system because we have been in a sleep state. So, when you feel groggy when you're waking up, that's the adenosine still needs to dissipate from your system. Caffeine competes with adenosine for the receptor sites. So it blocks the adenosine from getting to the receptors. It binds to those receptors. If, when you wake up, you have caffeine straight away within that 90 minutes, the adenosine that's in your system cannot dissipate, bind to receptors and get God damn it, Lex. Cannot be rid from your system. It isn't allowed to be cleared. Okay, so what happens is you have the caffeine. If you have it within 90 minutes, you block the adenosine in your system from being able to be cleared, When the caffeine then clears from your system, that adenosine that you didn't let clear is backed up, is still there, then binds to the receptors, makes you feel sleepy again in the middle of the day, which is why we get this midday crash.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. So if you avoid it for 90 minutes, your body will naturally clear the adenosine as it's supposed to, then have your caffeine. You'll still get all the same enjoyment and benefits, but no crash in the midday.
So first 90 minutes of a day, no caffeine.
No caffeine.
And do you know how you can combat this? The cold shower. So you can get your kick off the cold shower. Your energy is going to go for the roof. 250 to 300% more dopamine release by doing the cold shower as well. So you're going to feel happier. So replace that caffeine kick with the cold shower.
You also get an adrenaline kick.
Yeah, I know with the 90-minute rule for the caffeine, like that's not just 90 minutes. Like normally, the longer you can hold off, the better effects you can have. Obviously, you don't want to push it to the point where then you're having a coffee before you go into bed. You fucked it at that point. You've got too late.
That's my mum.
Yeah, you've got.
Having a coffee at 7 p.m.
On an scientific argument side of that, if you can drink a coffee or take caffeine before sleep, and you're able to go to sleep within 15 minutes of having the coffee, caffeine will actually create a deeper sleep for you.
No way.
But but you're playing with fire.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because you missed that window.
Especially me and you, rolling about in bed.
Well, that's actually so. If you need like a power nap, if you're actually really like if you're flagging really badly in the middle of the day, that's quite a good tip to like have a coffee and then try and immediately get to sleep.
Yeah,
because the caffeine won't have actually kicked in. So by the time you've had your 20-minute, half an hour power nap, the caffeine will have kicked in and you'll like hit the ground running.
I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah,
this is good, boys.
Not that I ever power nap that often, but like that's a good little tip, and I have done it a few times, and it actually works really well. It's quite a nice little thing to like sync them together.
Yeah,
Nice.
So where did we get to? Oh yes, we got to that the caffeine rule. That's a good one. And obviously, the moment you wake up as well, hydrate. You want to drink at least a pint of water because you are dehydrated when you wake up, and our brain obviously we need hydrating your literally you're rehydrating your brain, and so it's going to help wake up your brain, help get you firing a little bit quicker, help clear that mind. So hydration is hugely important. But the main thing is, and this I actually learned this recently again. So we talk about getting up, getting outside, and getting the sunshine literally into your eyeballs. Don't stare at the sun. Don't go out staring at the sun and come back to me and be recently. Like, bro, did your thing, now I'm blind. No, don't do it. Just get outside. So we're talking about sunrise time in those early hours of the day. Midday doesn't work as well. We'll explain why in a second. So when you wake up, you want to get outside and get at least 10 to 20 minutes of sunshine into your eyes. So no sunglasses.
To your skin as well.
Yeah, and onto the skin. But
resets the cardia.
So it's a circadian rhythm. So what happens is when we wake up, we have the blue-yellow light from the sunrise coming through due to UV, the refraction of light and the UV levels that are around at that time help set your circadian rhythm. So that lets your body know, okay, we're waking up at this time. Midday sunshine is not a white-yellow balance. It's all yellow. So it doesn't have an actually real effect. But it's good to get out to get the vitamin D and to clear your mind and go for a midday walk. But then also you want to get back outside when the sun's setting. Again, we get back into that blue-yellow spectrum. And that then allows the body to know, okay, now we're getting into a sleep phase. So by getting sun in the morning and in the evening, you set your circadian rhythm to the rhythm of the earth. And that's what you want. So you want to be in time with the day. So then also what that's going to do is also keep those hunger levels at a normal pace through the day. When you are active, when you're awake, it lets your body know that time frame in respect to the season that we're in. And then add on with that is don't eat when it's dark. Because we're designed to be resting when it's dark, hiding away. That's our evolutionary track. We won't be out in the dark. We'll be hiding and staying away from predators. Yeah. And you say, well, in the winter it gets dark at 4. Yeah, motherfuckers. Oh, damn it. Demonetized. I have to blank that one out. Yeah. So this is where intermittent fasting comes in, getting it in a smaller window, because in the winter we're usually moving less, doing less. So actually we probably need less food. Yeah. So, eat with the seasons, eat with the time of the day, get that circadian rhythm in track. And then you will probably, if you did this, it would probably help you sleep better because it would help set your sleep phases and times. Okay. And so all of these all work really well together. So for me, that's a big one.
Yeah, I was going to kind of piggyback off the back of what you were saying with the circadian rhythm and obviously exposing yourself to the sun and as it's kind of setting, as it's rising, to set that rhythm. But things like these, which you can't see, I've just realised that one's not turned on, so the light's going to be darker.
Yeah, good, turn it on now. So we had a fan on to get the old cigar smoke out.
Yeah, so things like, so you can't see them, but we've got big old LED lights like dotted around. we're looking at our phones, we're looking at everything, and all of this is bombarding us with blue light, which is the kind of the light that makes us feel more wakeful. So blue light blocking glasses filter that, because what you're going to do, you're not going to just stop looking at any kind of, you're not going to turn all the lights off in your house and just be there with a fucking candle or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I think from about I think it's like 8 p.m.
realistic.
Something like that.
I personally aim to start trying to wear my blue light blocking glasses like 2 hours before I'm planning on going to bed. Okay. It does obviously vary. Depends on what if you work nights.
I just
if you
do it with the sunset. Do it with the sunset.
Yeah,
when the sun
you
starts
can
going
do.
down.
I think
Get out there.
It depends depending on your work schedule. When you want to start to wind down, then that's probably a good time to put them on. And especially if you want to start winding down, but you still want to watch some TV, or you're going to be on your phone a little bit, or you're going to have the lights on, then yeah, that's just going to help your brain start to like identify. Okay, it's time to go to bed now, because it's not picking up all this blue light and thinking it's the sun and being like, oh, we should be awake right now. The sun's out. Yeah, so that's my little
Yeah,
bit
that
on
is a
the
good
end.
tip. That's a very good
like
tip.
that.
And all of these things work really well in like synchronicity. So it's you can put a few of them into practice and slowly increment them into your days. You don't have to do it all at once. Just try like one at a time, slowly ebb them in. I think the breathing one's the simplest. Everyone can start that immediately.
It's free.
And
It's breathing.
It's like what, 10 minutes every day?
Literally. And it's going to cost you no money. You wake up, you do your breath work, you're literally breathing. There's no excuse not to do it. After I've seen how it's changed my life, how it's changed my habits, I think it is just there's no reason not to do it.
And on top of that, you can add these onto like your little to-do list that we've talked about in the past as well before. So you could have wake up, brush teeth, tick that box. Another little box underneath then says breath work. Tick that box. Look how many positives you already hit through a day. Got up, and these 2 tasks. Next under that, you just have make bed. And then 2 other things for the day, that you want to put in, like start project X or whatever. Not finish or do, just start. And then, gym. And that's your 5 things. And you slowly start ticking these off. You'll be like nailing them after like a couple of weeks. You now add another little box in there with another task. And that you're now focusing on positives that you're achieving every day rather than worrying about what you're not getting on with. Yeah. And it's just going to create this proactive mindset from day to day to day. And by starting with something that is a challenge and does take, your focus and time, it's setting the mood for the rest of the day. It's really important. And so 2 things I haven't done recently, which was meditation, mainly because just life got really busy with not just myself, there were other people's lives involved in mine much more. So their time became my concern. And then and work on top of that. So then I didn't set myself enough time aside from work, other people, just to go and do the meditation. And that's when mornings are important, because most people have some time in that morning schedule to just set aside 10 or 15 minutes. So I think it is important that we actually do that and make other people aware that, listen, there's just this 15-minute window where you need to leave me to do my little thing.
It's important.
Yeah. So whether you've got kids and things like that, it'd be like start making it a little bit of a rule, like, dad or mum they have some people, parents already have this, like dad or mum have their cup of tea and then you don't bother them until they finish their tea. Yeah. So you do this with this. Now you can add in, dad and mum are going to do some weird hypnotic breathing together. We're not wrestling. We're just doing breathing.
It's not weird.
Yeah. To the kids, it's going to seem weird. They'll be like, mum and dad do this weird trancey thing. I think they're in a cult. I don't know what's happening. Yeah. You have to. You sometimes be just a little bit selfish and be like, listen, I just need this little window's for me, and after that we can,
it's
chaos
minutes,
can consume.
It's minutes of your day.
Really
but that chaos will seem less chaotic once you've done it.
And then you'll just have a much better outlook on life, and the people around you are going to enjoy your presence more because you're going to be less stressed. So you're going to have, your cup's going to be more full to empty into other people's lives.
But then also you can take this into the rest of the day. So say you have a really stressful moment, you just go and you take 3 to 5 minutes away, do some deep breathing. You can do box breathing.
One thing, again, we said about the sacred pause.
Yes.
So if you do get stressed, then you just need 3 minutes. So say you're getting really overworked in your environment, take yourself out of that environment, take yourself to a quiet place, and there's an exercise called the 3-minute pause, or also known as the sacred pause. So all you're going to do is close your eyes for the first minute. You're going to listen to the sounds around you, and there's plenty of YouTube videos. If you just YouTube the sacred pause, you can listen to this audibly.
So I think that the point of listening to sounds as well is for you to listen to a sound.
You're checking in.
You can name that sound, but don't focus on the sound. So you can let the name pop
Become
in
aware.
and then let it just slide away and you listen to sounds. The best way I heard it was listen to the sounds of the world like you're listening to music.
I like that.
Yeah, and it really works when you
Yeah,
think of it that
I
way
like
and
that.
give it that perspective. So yeah, listen to sounds of the world like music.
Yeah, for
a
the first minute. And then the minute after this, what you're going to do is focus on your breath for 1 minute. So either pick your mouth, your nose, or a point of where the air is coming out. You can also focus on the chest. Anywhere where air is coming in and out. I use the nose because I think that's the easiest place to feel the air coming in and out. And just focus on that one bit of the body. Breath coming in, breath coming out. Breathe in, breathe. You can even say this in your head. Breathe in, breathe out. After that 1 minute, you're going to expand your awareness again. So you're going to go back to the start. You're going to check back into the sounds in the room, the sounds in your body, and check into how you feel. And write it down, how you felt before and how you felt after. It's crazy how 3 minutes can completely
We said that as
change.
well. Another great thing is literally putting pen to paper about like thoughts, how you feel, and stuff like that, and what you want to do. So, like you said, that'd be a good little journal. If you get a cool, I have a cool little leather-bound journal. I literally bought it because it looked cool. And I'm like, cool pen to go with it.
We'll bring that as Zenful Men mindful journal soon as well.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. There's anything that's cool to write in. They're going to age with you. They're going to have a little bit of their own story, and you can just jot down, that you've done, what task you've done, and then how you felt after doing the task. Just a little thing like clear-minded or energized, little things like that, just to let you know you can read back and see all these moments of how I felt after doing something. It is quite empowering.
It's good to refer back to as well, because then you see your growth. You go, oh my God, I was feeling like that a month ago. Look at me now, and it's a real good way of tracking progress and reminding yourself where you come from.
Yeah, it's the same as with a fitness kind of journey. If you don't take those kind of before and after photos, you don't see those little changes that are happening because it's such a, it's a slow process. You almost don't see
Day
these
by day, nothing
little
changes,
micro
right?
changes. Yeah, but then when you actually look back a month or 2 months or a year, then you're like, oh crap, that's actually a massive difference.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. We don't see the micro changes, and if you do microanalyze everything all the time, like most of us do, you're definitely going to be blind to it. So sometimes you need those things that slap you in the face and go, look where you were, look where you are.
Yeah.
And that can be both ways. It could be like, look where you were doing great. Now look where you are, and you're like, oh fuck, well, I'm capable of what I am no longer, because you can see where you were if it was good, and now where you are is not so good. Yeah. You were purely capable of doing it at one point, so there's no reason you can't be again. We had a thing the other week about a guy messaging saying like he was 45 and he was just getting back into the gym after he'd had 4 or 5 years off or something. Yeah. And he's like, is there any hope? Like literally said, is there any hope? We were like, bro,
come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me. You'll be snapped back in there.
Goggins?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. But no,
he's older.
Yeah, he will be crippled in his old age.
Oh, yeah, but he started stretching.
Goggins he spends like 3 hours a day.
Yeah, literally. I think he needs that though, doesn't he? After the marathons he ran.
Everything he does is to an insane level that you can't even fathom how he was what he was prior. Can you? He's like how it's like that person. He'd eaten that person before, and then that person has just murdered the outside dude and crawled back out and just assumed his identity. Yeah. He's a crazy human being. Sometimes I can watch him and I can really enjoy it, and sometimes I'm like, shut up.
He's very old-fashioned in his approach.
Because sometimes it's just too much. Where it's just like, if I do what
he's just there doing one of those running talking videos, and then at the end he's just like, stay hard, and you're just like, shut up, and you just lock your phone.
Dickhead.
It's just sometimes I just look at it and I think, if I was to do what you just said, society wouldn't gotta be sometimes it's too stern, and it's too much what I want to hear at that point of the day. Like it's just too far. But sometimes it's exactly what you need.
Stay hard.
But
I want to have a bath.
With petals and bath wash. Phone.
He does have some great things that stick with, like who's going to carry the boat.
Yeah.
Like the little things
Goggins
like that.
is back on the log.
But yeah, he is next level. All credit to the man, all power to him as well. Because he's now making a lot of great money from just basically something he never meant to make any money from, and other people were like, we got to put this into a book, we got to make people hear you. But he will, I do think, unfortunately, be a crippled mess in about 20 years.
Put his body under a lot
Have you seen his feet?
No.
Bro.
Dare I?
Google Goggins' feet.
What? I'm not Googling.
Come on,
You
Google
do
Goggins.
your
Oh, I can
phone's
do it
there.
now.
You do
My
it.
phone's
I
free.
don't
Yeah.
want that on my search history.
How,
I've got enough weird stuff on my search history, let alone
Mrs. is
Goggins'
like,
feet.
Why have you been Googling Goggins' feet?
you will know why when I
We're
show you
100%
this
tangented.
picture.
You are the one who was meant to be keeping us on
We've
track
done
here.
well.
Look
We've
at
this
you.
done
was
well.
the
We're going to
quick
finish in
fire
a
round.
minute. We're
Yeah.
finishing it with some David Goggins' feet.
Yeah, put Goggins.
Oh my!
Look at that.
They look
This
like-
is on the
they
screen
look-
now for people.
Sorry,
put
Dad,
Goggins'
but
feet
they
up
look
forever
like
a
your
minute.
feet.
That is what
Just make him
happens.
throw up.
He
That's
played
what-
a lot of five-a-side when he was a kid.
Bro, that's what happens.
Barefoot.
That's what happens when you run to
Barefoot
the
on
levels
concrete.
he runs at every day. He's going to have
He needs a
some
nail transplant.
crazy. Ew, he needs toe
They're just
transplant.
gone. Yeah.
Look at that toe there on the left. Look at it.
What the fuck?
What? His nails all the way back there. That is all just some kind of hemorrhage.
I think that's gone. I think the nail's gone. I think that's skin.
That's just like, you know, when you get a callus on your hand, his toe is an entire callus.
This one don't look too bad.
That one in the middle.
How that-
He's got
cut that
one.
bit out of his
He's
foot.
got one good toe on each
Yeah.
foot.
The other-
One
Why
good
is it the
toe.
longest toe?
All the
which is
others
best?
have taken the brunt.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
that
that's
one,
usually the worst.
Hey, do you
right?
know-
he's just been up hiding and he's just dodging all the impacts. He's
He
like,
must curl it.
Just flipping around.
Yeah, he's just like,
letting,
whoa.
letting the big toe take all of the heat
Yeah.
from every run. Do you know they say that
the big one's just like, I got you, bro.
if that middle toe, they found that if that middle toe, if that's longer than all the other toes, they found that as a common trait amongst like psychopaths, serial killers. Long middle toes. So if you're dating somebody right now, if you're on those first dates, you maybe don't know each other too well, you get into the stage where maybe you're going to Netflix and chill nights coming, maybe he or she slides her feet off. Just take a quick glance down at that middle toe. If it's a little bit longer than the rest,
So they're looking at you like this.
It's weird though.
get the hands.
Our hands. It's the normal to be the long
yeah,
one.
but on the foot,
What the fuck?
psychopaths. Fucking nuts psychopath.
I think
There we go.
that correlation or causation, I don't know. I don't think it makes you a psychopath, but there's definitely
Just a higher chance. I'm not saying it definitely makes you a psychopath. I'm just saying
Something to watch out for.
but-
maybe
yeah, but did
check how many knives were in the drawer when they came in.
Not the kitchen drawer.
yeah.
That's normal.
Just saying, check your knife drawer where you keep. Everyone has a knife drawer, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
rough-
Everyone else has like 22 knives in their kitchen, right? At all times. Yeah.
obviously.
There you go. That's a really good short. We literally want to keep that to a level where we're not going to tangent too much. I don't know how long. How long was it when we started? Oh, we can check the timer underneath the table. And here we go. 27 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
Skadinkios. There you go, dudes. It's
been a
That's a
pleasure.
CREWCast short. Hope that put that into practice. Let us know if you do any of those already in any comments, thing like that. Hey, remember, if you can review us on whatever platform you're on, please do. It makes a great difference to us, and we appreciate everybody that gets involved with these podcasts every week. It's because of you guys that Sam is even here. Because Mary, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary. Big up, Mary.
Cheers to you, Mary,
Up,
from
Mary.
the glasses that you sent us.
Sure.
And up the
Sam is
Zenny Men.
here. Cheers to everybody who's listening. Have a great week. We will catch you in the next one. Toodle pip.
Bye.
With the mouth full
Yeah.
of it.
Bye.